Hi guys, it's April, and I have another book review for you. I will do this book review the same way I do all of my other book reviews. I will have the non-spoiler section up front, followed by all of the spoils of all of the things afterwards, and of course, I will let you know when that transition happens. And as per my usual disclaimers, since this is the last book in the Sevenwaters series, there will be spoilers for the rest of the series, but of course, feel free to stick around and just do you. Flame of Sevenwaters by Juliet Marillier is book 6 and the final book in the Sevenwaters series. And oh my gosh, this whole thing has been a journey. From book 1, Daughter of the Forest, which is my all-time favorite book ever, it's just a thing, all the way to this book right here, which is probably at this point my second favorite in the series. I am so glad I finally pushed myself to read the whole Sevenwaters series. This story centers around Maeve, who is the daughter of Sevenwaters, who was sadly burnt 10 years earlier. She has now come back to Sevenwaters, and this is the first time she has been to Sevenwaters in those 10 years. She is now crippled, her face is slightly deformed, but she's learned to live her life to the fullest. At the same time, Mikdara has brought this whole war between himself and his son to a head. People are disappearing and reappearing in the forest, brutally murdered. Maeve and her brother, Finbar, through a series of events, ends up on a journey that is intertwined with Mikdaran's reign, and of course, all the things happen. This book, I love seeing Maeve's point of view. She is slightly broken, but she is really strong. She has learned to deal with her deformities, but at the same time she has this real connection with animals, which I think is what really made me connect with this character. When she comes back home, it irks me a little bit because she comes from this place where I've chosen to keep myself away from Sevenwaters because of the memories, because of everything that has happened, but then she judges everybody for how they do things. So there's this point where you see Maeve's naivety of life and everything, but at the same time you see her strength where she's like, this is just how it is. I've learned to deal with it. Everybody bow down to my way. She still needs to learn to bend a little bit, and through this journey she does start to see the other sides of her family and what she has missed out in those 10 years by choosing to stay away, which I really like. You also get to see a lot more of the Fae world, the Fae creatures. That story is very much the center point of this book, which I did like, but at the same time I disliked, because by doing that you lost a little bit of the majesty of the Fae world. I think with this last trilogy in the Sevenwaters, there's almost too much Fae and too much magic. It lost that awe I had for it in the first book, but at the same time, this book, I liked the journey that this book took. All of the different characters, everything, how it all came to end. I actually cried at several points in this book because yes, Juliet Marillier has a way of taking what I love most and destroying it. I do think it is a fitting ending for the last trilogy in the Sevenwaters series. I enjoyed the whole character journey throughout this book. There were things that happened that I didn't see coming and things that broke me, and it was just a magical journey, and I loved it. So this is the point in which spoilers are probably gonna happen, because I have to talk about a few things that may have destroyed me just a touch. So if you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend that you go and read it, because it is a very good book, and then come back and we can start a conversation, because yes, I have to talk about the various numerous times that I thought that Bear and Badger had met their end. Mainly Bear, because I just loved seeing the dynamic between Maeve and these dogs just grow, how she slowly gained their trust. And then it broke me every time. It's like, no, he killed him. No, she killed him. And no, why? I cried in the first book when the dog died. So of course, I cried the numerous times that I thought Bear was dead. And honestly, I'm okay with the twist that got added in and who Bear really was. I don't know why I didn't see it coming. I was distracted, I guess, by something over here, the shiny objects. Maybe I was a little distracted over how annoying I found Maeve at times when she was very, very critical of her family, especially her mother. When she didn't necessarily know all of the background of everything. She wasn't there when Finbar was kidnapped for the first time. She wasn't there when all of this family drama started falling out. She was separated, but at the same time, she expected everything to be a certain way, and when she didn't see it quite in the way that she views the world, then she started to get really judgmental and a little bit pissy, which I did not enjoy. I think her judgmentalness was probably one of her biggest flaws. I can see how it started to happen because she always assumes that everybody is viewing her a certain way because of her hands, because of her scars, and everything of her appearance. She kind of sees the world through this very fractured view. I did like the character growth. I did like the story. I didn't like some of the Fae journey and how human-like some of the Fae ended up being. Like I said, it pulled some of the majesty and the epicness of the Fae out of the story for me, just how ingrained they were in this one. I definitely like the first trilogy more than I like the second trilogy, but this book is probably still my second favorite book in the whole thing. Tell me down below your thoughts on the series. I would love to start a conversation with you. I heart you beautiful faces. Bye.